All right, good afternoon. All right, it is 11/2 to November. Nothing's really changed, right? It's still the same date. We have about 10 more minutes before the close, and tonight is the showdown, right, into tomorrow. So I think that levels are really important. We're going to go over a couple of those. We're also going to go over some of the trades that I personally took today and were sent out or alerted in the room. So we're going to start here. Let's go ahead and just start with the ES futures, and then we'll come back to it as we come into the close and just kind of go over what we saw. So here on the 4 hour, that was our main candle that we want to take a look at. You can see that price did hold over the 9. It came down, did flush, but we had the line in the sand. The line in the sand saved the, I would say the day, but the day is not over. Price came into here. We did start to go bid. We did create a little inside candle here, actually three of them on the 4 hour. You can see that. Price did try to move back into the box and it was rejected once again. So overall, the levels did work very well. Sellers are here, buyers are in here. The more we test this, the weaker it gets. Down below, we have a trendy edge. Mark that for 3260. You can just call it 3260 and a half. Line in the sand right now is 3271 and a half, and that will change at the close of business. And then we'll get you a new blueprint here. Far as tonight is concerned, I'm going to come back on towards the end of the night before futures if I have time. Again, we are celebrating a birthday here for my youngest. But for right now, I'm going to tell you this. If we get some volatility and a really nice move in the market, we are talking ME to ME. That's what I'm talking about. So the trendy edge up here, this would be like the blow off level for me. I'd be looking for a move potentially into 3420 by 3505. And to the downside, I'm looking for this to be support as of right now. If we take out the low for any reason, I'm looking at 3207, possibly in a 3114. Okay, and I'll come back and I'll give us a really nice blueprint that looks really good to give you some of the bigger levels, and I'll make bigger boxes for the higher boxes or higher time frame boxes, I should say. Okay, so for right now though, let's see how we close here in a few minutes. We'll come back to that, and let's go ahead and start off with a couple trades that we took this morning. And somebody just mentioned that YY was still running. We'll take a look at that here in a second. That actually stopped me out earlier. And that was one of my losses today, one of two losses. And you can see here on BIDU. So let's talk about this trade. This was straightforward. We took the trade out of the neutral this morning. I did some verticals and I sold up here and then I sold again as it came back. Overall, it was a profitable trade. Again, price did move right into our target that we were looking for at 137. And just like the Trinity Edge is, it rejected. Okay, so price came into that Trinity Edge and was rejected. And that's why we decided to sell there. All right. Now let's go ahead and move down. I'll go ahead and go to Amazon because it's on the top of my list right now. So Amazon came into the green box. I waited patiently all day. I'm a little upset with myself for just selling put credit spreads. I had a bracket order in here and I let everybody know several times where I was looking to take the long. And you can see that price came into the 2961 area. I would have been stopped out though, to be very transparent. So I guess it's a good thing that it wasn't on there. 2949, my stop was about 10 bucks or so. I know you can't see it over here, but on my other setup, I've showed you this is the previous trendy edge right here that we use for targets. It actually came in there to the tick, and this is where I purchased those put credit spreads, and then prices moving up from there. What I'd like to see if we can move into tomorrow, I would expect the market to move up to the levels I showed you on the ES, and then over here on Amazon we may see 3021 and potentially into an undercutting this trendy edge, the yellow and the pink line here, and you can see that it's matched up with the 4 hour 9 EMA. So we would expect that to be resistance until it's not. Now all of these I like to give some kind of scenario. If the market booms, right? So for the bulls, if the market booms and Amazon wants to take off, I would expect price to move somewhere and around 3261 all the way into 3442 by Friday. Okay. To the downside, all right, we'll get into that really quick. I'm going to go over here to the weekly. Yeah, I can see they're messing with the spreads right now before the close. Price is going up, but showing a couple of negatives here and there. So on the downside, on the weekly, I'd expect this to be support down here at 2867. Underneath that Amazon, if for some reason we're to lose it, I do like this chaotic candle here. So price potentially coming into 2794 by 2695. So again, that would be the levels to the downside. And for the upside, again, looking anywhere from 3240 all the way into 3442. That's Amazon. And I do have a position on in that. BIDU, I have closed. And let's go to FDX. This one is a low probability trade. Want everybody to understand that. It has gone up since I did buy it. But what I'm looking for, this is more, I'd like to say, a low probability instead of saying the word lotto. I'm using my levels, and I'm using those levels as a target. And so if we do move up, I'm looking for a move potentially into 282 by 290, and that's FDX. All right. I got stopped out on LI this morning. I already went over that really quickly. I bought right into one of my targets. Unfortunately, it did not get over my target. We understand that when the targets that I provide are above price, we do look for them to be resistance until proven otherwise. Unfortunately, it came right into target and it did pull back at 23.27. If anybody is interested in this, this is my blueprint. If price can hold above that 23.27, I am looking for 25.62. To the downside right now, it's basically neutral between 21.66 and 23.27. Let's go ahead and go over to Oracle. I also traded this. I got a little bit out of it. A lot of these kind of popped up in the morning and I was in and out fairly quickly. I felt like they were actually a little bit longer, considering I thought they'd be a little bit more volatility, but a lot of them pushed through and did really well. All right, so there's not much to really cover on this. The previous session came into the green box. It did pick up from there, and I was looking for price to push into 57.84. It got pretty close, so I went ahead and closed up there around 57.40, somewhere in there. So it was a positive trade. And then moving on to TGT, Target. And I will, so just so you know, when the bell rings, I will continue. I'll be looking at the ES futures, and I am also going to go ahead and throw a chart up for the NASDAQ, the NQ futures, and we'll go over the ETFs, SPY, the Qs, and so forth. All right, you can see here on target, the trendy edge has held today. We had a nice push up. I was looking for 155.23. I went ahead and sold this one for profits as well. And then on UNH, it is up right now. A lot of these spreads, again, I said they're pretty wonky. So you're going to see a lot of different movement. I am using, uh, some sort of spread in here. And you can see right here, and this one's not a spread. This is actually just a directional, straight directional. And what I'm looking for here, I just want to get something in this sector. I may be looking for 330 by 335. Or sorry, 325 by 330. My apologies. So right in this area right here, this is the trendy edge. Okay, so I'd like to see price break this EMA on the weekly and push right into this zone right up here. All right, and those were pretty cheap. I went with the November. Actually, I bought out some time. 20 November 335 call. I paid 222 for it. It does have a pretty big spread in it, but I just started low and they ended up taking it. So nice. WFC, that was a really nice trade for today. WFC, what I did with this is I bought shares and then I rolled into options. And so far on those, we've already trimmed for about 20%, 25, and that was we got out of the equity. We made some money there. We started in the money, 21.5 calls, 20 November, getting in for a price basis of 1.07 and closed here on the day at 1.20. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. I do like banks right now. I feel like this is a pretty good bargain. Can it get lower? Of course. But so far it is holding the overall 76.4 and the Trinity edge here on a nice pop into some sort of catalyst. We could see 2290 and above that into 2520. So I like what I'm seeing here. All right. To the downside, of course, you could see my arrows. Price could move into the 17 area and possibly even 14. Okay, we are trimming quite a bit, making sure that we are taking profits as we get them, whether they are small or big. And then let me get into XLE. So I was fully allocated in this, and I ended up closing 50% of this today. It was a nice surprise, I guess you could say. It was looking really good pre-market, and then it pulled back. And I wasn't too concerned as we had 50 plus days on DTE, date till expiration. Um, and it held up very nicely. It came right back through, pushed up almost into this upper target for the day, and so I decided to let 50% of that go, just kind of freeing up some more cash into the election. What I'm looking for, if we get follow through, and a lot of these charts look like they're going to give us some sort of follow through, at least into the EMAs just above, I'd be looking for price around 30.94. Okay. And if we can break above 30.94, I'm looking for 34.95, and then I'll add back into the trade, buying further out of the money position there on XLE. YY, I got stopped out of that. So I had two positions today that I got stopped out of, and that is not bad considering I traded about 10, almost like 8 to 10 different trades. So here's YY. Um, and it did. It stopped me out. But this is the blueprint. This is what I provided for the room. And so sometimes what you'll find in a service, is that you have the moderator themselves who may get stopped out of position, and somebody else might have a different risk tolerance and do well. Regardless, it is following the plan here. It's holding the trendy edge, and it's pushing up very nicely. So when it pushed up, I took the trade. It came back to retest the trendy level and the TL level, and then came right back through. All right. Possible move here into 99, double top, probably a pullback from there, and perhaps a nice little cup and handle up into the 117 region. All right. So that's YY. Also on NIO, I'm not sure how they finished for the day, but I ended up closing. We hit my target, and so I ended up closing. I am not, and I do not own any more of this, but I'm definitely interested if we can hold the 34.47 area. Okay. So let's get back over here and take a look at the ES for right now and see, how did we close up on the day? As of right now, we're going into that maintenance period. A lot of traders don't know this, but I think the word is getting around that you can trade the SPY and the Qs and all that fun stuff for about 15 minutes on the option side. Just check with your broker, which makes it pretty fun. And then they go into a maintenance period, closes down, and then it opens back up here Central Time, 5 o'clock. So here in a few minutes, I will have a new blueprint. But like I said, on the weekly, this thing, man, no matter how you look at it, yes, we have the elections. Please ignore all the lines. These are for today. But what I'm looking at is this entire trend right here. All right. So no matter how I look at this is, bullish. You know, it's consolidating in this area. It can bounce back and forth through here. Um, the easier trade, in my opinion, for long term is going to be outside of this box and or underneath this box. It just so happens that the trendy edge is right here, this blue line. This is for our swing trades or even lead trades, the blue marks. And as long as it's holding in here, looks bullish, right? So that's a bigger look on ES. Let's go ahead and go over here to the 4 hour. All right, so nice little hammer here at the end of the day. Regardless of how you look at this, this is a double inside and up so far. What do you guys think about that? See that shot? Looking pretty good in here. This could be a nice foundation, but we'll see. Wouldn't it be just shock everybody if nothing really happened? But I really don't think that's going to play out like that. I think we're going to get a lot of volatility here. So regardless, so far, double inside and up. We'll see what happens with this little candle here in a few minutes. But I'm not going to change the blueprint here. We're going to keep these levels on here. I think what I'm going to do is bring this guy right here. Okay, that's going to be in line with this wick here. I'm going to leave this box Okay, so we're going to leave this box, but I'm going to bring it over here so it's above price so you can see it. Okay, and we're going to keep these targets on here. Obviously, we have not hit those yet. Let's bring this here. And I'm going to create, not here live, but I'm going to dissect this a little bit more and find us some levels that we can trade into the election. Okay, so it's going to be really fun. I think we're going to have a good time. I know we're going to have a good time. I hope you guys are all excited. I don't care who you vote for. Be patriotic, be blessed, be thankful that we have this opportunity to trade. It's what it's all about. All right. And so, again, seize the opportunity. Remember, think about the volatility. I am trading smaller using wider stops. It helps to control my emotions. I'm not laying everything on the line. I know that there's a lot of money across the board that's in cash. For myself, I need a little something. You guys all know I have positions in DFIN. I have some Tesla. I have some lithium. I have some good stuff for the future. All right. So anything that happens, please understand it's most likely a temporary movement in price that pushes price into one of our levels. And from there, we will make choices and we will execute. All right. So I'll be putting this out, our new blueprints, a little bit later. Hope you guys had a good day. I know that some of you guys traded. I know it's very quiet out there. A lot of traders probably just waiting. So enjoy your popcorn tonight. Tomorrow's a big day. We'll see you soon.